Hello and welcome to Juliaskuddelmuddel. Once again, I'm really happy that you're here with me today. For everyone that's new, my name is Julia. I host this podcast. It's mainly about knitting, and I used to live in Edinburgh and I moved back to Germany just a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I'm now hosting this podcast from Germany. So you find me on Instagram as juliaskuddelmuddel, or also on Ravelry. I'll link it in the box down below, and yeah, if you want to subscribe, you're more than welcome to. I'm always happy to get subscribers that are not from Germany, because I feel like the English speaking part of my podcast is still going a wee bit slow. So yeah, I'd love it if you subscribed. Maybe if you're English or English speaking, whatever, you probably don't know what a kuddelmuddel is. Kuddelmuddel is a word where, first of all, I love the sound of it. It just sounds nice. Like, it's nice to say kuddelmuddel. But also, it's a German word for if something's really entangled. So, for example, if your yarn drops on the floor and everything's like chaotically entangled, that's a kuddelmuddel. And because my life's a wee bit chaotic, that's why I called it juliaskuddelmuddel. Just as an explanation. I feel like I never explained that before. I'm really sorry. Oh well. Yeah, so I have a couple of things to show you today. A finished object, an almost finished object where I'm missing about one pattern repeat, and something that I'm knitting, and also, once again, a Fibershare parcel. So I'm gonna dive right in with my finished object, which is, I knit this Très Fun cowl by Justyna Lorkowska, and yeah, I've seen it on Instagram and I fell in love with it, so I had to knit it. So it is finished now. Ta-da! Can you see it? It's rather big. I'm gonna put it on. I recorded the German version of the podcast earlier, and then I put it on and I felt like I smudged my makeup all over my face. So it's not very elegant, but I can put it on. Fluffy hair problems as well. So this is the cowl. It's perfect because, not that I want to praise myself, but like, it's perfect for this time of the year. It's really warm, and like, it covers my shoulders, it covers me back a wee bit, and it's just like down the front where like the lungs get cold and, you know, your chest gets cold and your neck. It keeps you warm, but it's not like a full garment. So I've been, like, autumn here has been really warm compared to other years. So I've been wearing it a lot. Like, you need it in the morning, you need something warm, but then during the day you don't need it anymore. So yeah, I've been wearing it a lot. Makeup still on my face, oh dear. And fluff. Anyway, so yeah, I really like this cowl. The way you knit it, you first knit a triangle and then you combine it in the back, and then you have those rows of accentuated things. So first you have those wee, I don't know, how do you call this? I don't know, square, triangular things. Then you have wee bubbles, and then you have those thicker rows, and then a brioche border. Brioche border from the back looks like that. It's also very pretty. It's the first time I tried knitting brioche, so I'm really happy that it worked out. And yeah, I just love that cowl. I've been wearing it a lot. I finished it, like, I knit it within 2 or 3 weeks. So it's a very easy knit, also I think for beginners can do it as well. And also I think you can easily adapt it as a men's cowl thing. Like, you change the colours up a bit. I didn't add the tassels because my yarn isn't appropriate for making tassels. But yeah, I think especially, you know, if you cycle to work in the morning or things like that, where like you need a bit of extra warmth on your chest, it's ideal. So yeah, I've been wearing it a lot. I was surprised. I was pretty sure that I'm gonna like it, but I didn't expect it to be like, I didn't expect to be wearing it that much. The yarn that I used, so the grey one is Lana Grossa Bingo. There you can see it. It's merino wool, and about 50 grams are about 80 meters. And the orange yarn is also Lang Yarn's Thin. It's felt free, it has an anti-felting finish, and it's also 50 grams, 80 meters. And the orange one is virgin wool and acrylic. So it's a lovely yarn, and I think you could also easily knit it with a rustic, thick yarn. I'm gonna show you one in a minute that I think might also be useful. Yeah, so a lovely cowl. It doesn't have many projects on Ravelry, so I'm surprised not more people have knit that yet. But I can only recommend the pattern, and it's such a useful thing to wear, especially if you just want to wear a jumper and something warm on top of it. It's ideal. So yeah, go on and knit that thing. It's really useful. Then the next thing I want to show you is almost finished. It is the Rhinebeck Hat by Woolly Wormhead. If you're familiar with Woolly Wormhead, she does a lot of patterns that involve short rows, and yeah, short row shaping, and they mostly knit not from the front to back, from like in the round, not in the round either. I'll show you. And so that's what it looks like just now. And where is it? There is it. So yeah, I started knitting down there at the bottom with a provisional cast on, and then added all those rows and wavy things, and now it looks like that. And yeah, it's really pretty. Like, can you see those gorgeous wavy things? Like, I'm in love with it. And somehow magically it's getting tighter at the top, so basically I'm gonna sew this part together here somehow, and then it's a hat. Look, it's amazing, like the construction of it. I don't really understand it, but it's fab, it's awesome. So yeah, I'm missing about one pattern repeat because I have a rather big, if you look at it like that, like I'm missing a tiny wee bit. I have a rather big head, sorry. I need a big hat for my big head, because I have a lot of hair as well. So yeah, Jesus, should stop rambling. I really love that pattern. Like the last time when we spoke, I said that I really have to concentrate and I can't really knit on this hat while I'm watching telly. But that's changed. Like after half the hat, like you're so familiar with the pattern, that it got so much easier and I can just knit it on the go. And yeah, I really like it. My ma said that it might also be possible to like turn it into a jumper, and like that would be beautiful. So we'll see what I'll end up doing as well. The yarn that I'm using, so the speckled one, is one that I dyed myself, and I'm so proud of it. I love the way the speckles turn out, and like there's a lot of blue in it and pink, but then you also get those colour pops where it's like just one stitch that is in one colour, and I really love that. And the pink is some leftover yarn that I had. It's Love Lies Bleeding from Queen of Pearls. She has a wee shop in Glasgow, so if you're ever in Glasgow, go and check it out. She has really pretty yarn, and it's a DK yarn that I'm knitting with. So yeah, a lovely hat. I really love the pattern, and it's not that difficult and easily doable. I can thoroughly recommend it. So the other thing that I'm knitting at the moment is kind of a leftover yarn jumper. I did knit my Fair Isle jumper. This is actually the first episode in ages where I'm not showing my Fair Isle jumper, because I finally finished it and I'm done with it, and I'm wearing it. And actually the other day I went to the shop to buy something, and I was wearing the jumper, and a woman was staring at me while I was at the check, and I was a bit confused, like, why is she staring at me? And then it turned out that she really liked my jumper, and she stopped to talk to me about my jumper. That was really nice. Like, she asked me whether I knitted myself, and then she told me that she did a Fair Isle course the other day and what yarn I used, and it was just really like, I didn't expect anyone in the middle of Bavaria to, like, I don't know, talk to me about a Fair Isle jumper. It's quite a niche thing to do, so it was really nice. It was really sweet. Made me very happy. And I also explained why she stared at me. So I do have quite a bit of yarn over from it. It's just the way colour work works. So I wanted to do something with it. I don't want to have it sitting in my stash forever. So I decided to do, I feel like I'm always slopping down and falling out of the frame. I'm sorry if I do. I found this pattern. It's Petite Knits No Frills Sweater. It's a very easy sweater. It's top down with raglan shaping, and yeah, that's what I'm doing now. So I kind of want to do a colour fade thing. So I started out with the turquoise, and then I have a bright pink which doesn't fit into a fade of blue and grey and browns. So I'm always doing like a row of pink, and then I'm starting with the next colour. So at the moment I've done the neck. It has short rows at the back, so your neck at the back is a wee bit higher than at the front. And I'm just going to knit it all the way down, and I have no clue how long, like my yarn should be enough to go to make a full jumper. So I'm going to divide the sleeves, but I'm going to be knitting the sleeves at the same time because I want them to be in the same yarn. And if I don't know, if I knit and I figure out that it's not going to be enough to do the full length, I'm going to do maybe some shorter sleeves. We'll see. But yeah, it's nothing special. It's just a jumper to use the yarn that I can wear every day, basically. Yeah, and that's all for my knit. Oof, I'm sitting on the ground and I need to move around. That's all I can tell you about things that I'm knitting just now. So I want to show you my Fibershare parcel. I've been participating in quite a lot of Fibershares. I'm a big fan. The way Fibershare works is you sign up through a website, and then the people who organise it, they match you with two partners. To one partner you send your parcel, and from another one you get a parcel. So this time I did send my parcel to the US, and I did get one from Germany, but she made an international parcel. So first of all, I'm going to show you the stitch marker that I got. Ta-da! Can you see it? Hang on, it's moving. So it's a wee spinning wheel by Undercover Otter. I think they're from Amsterdam. So yeah, got that stitch marker. And then I got, it was labelled as an international parcel. So I did get some lovely Arab sweets. While I was in Saudi Arabia, this year for work for 2 months, I stayed in a hotel and I didn't get out much, so in a way to treat myself I always got some Arab sweets and Arab dessert, and I loved it. Like, usually I'm not that much into super sweet stuff, but that was just amazing. There was one dessert where it's like really fine dough, it's like spaghetti but thinner, and then there's like some sort of cheese ricotta-y cream in the middle, and then some more of that really thin noodly dough on top, and then it's crispy and it's so delicious. Anyway, so my lovely Fibershare partner, she put some baklava in it there as well, and it was delicious. Like, I love pistachios, so it was just the absolutely right thing for me. I was really happy. I need to figure out how to make those sweets myself. Problem is that here, like, pistachios are so expensive. Like, in Saudi Arabia, it was insane. There were pistachios everywhere, and here in Europe or in Germany, like, they're more of a treat. Like, they're more expensive. But in Saudi Arabia, they put pistachios everywhere, and it was so good. It was paradise. Loved it. Anyway, so I got the sweets. I was really happy. Ate them way too quickly, unfortunately. But hey, so the yarn I got is from Portugal. I think she went, I don't know whether she went on holiday in Portugal, I don't know. But that's the first one. It's a beautiful natural yarn. It has dark speckles from the fleece. So it's Rosarios for Zero Beco. I'm really sorry for my bad Portuguese pronunciation. I do not speak Portuguese. It's an eco-friendly collection, and its 50 grams are about 75 meters, so it's about the same thickness as the yarn that I used for my cowl. So I've been thinking I might be using that. I could do another cowl with it, but it's very rusty, very thick yarn, and like you can see the different hair colours in it, which is gorgeous. It's really beautiful. Love it. And I've just seen that it says something on the inside. Hang on. In many regions of Portugal, shepherds and farmers wore serubeco trousers or waistcoats, a long-lasting coarse wool cloth in yellow or brown. It's also known as serabeca, surobeco or surobeke. That's why. Ah, okay. So that was like a proper working man's garment yarn. That explains why it's that rustic. Lovely yarn. Really like it. Then I got this beautiful... Can you see the colour? I hope the colour works. It's Ovella Negra. Again, I'm probably mispronouncing it. Victoria. It's Portuguese yarn. 50 grams, 200 metre, and it has, like, I just love the colour of it. Like, teal, petrol-y colours are absolutely my thing. And then we have some gorgeous orange yarn, which has kind of a tweed look and feel to it. It's Donna Amelia. It's the same company as the other yarn. It's about 50 grams at 80 metres. So I have been thinking I could redo the cowl with these two. And like, I'm just going to show you the speckles again. I also got from another Fibershare last year, or Wool Swap, I can't remember. I got some Studio Donegal soft tweed in a dark red, and that might fit with this one as well. It's really pretty, so I really like this one. So yeah, and then I got this mysterious box. My foot's falling asleep. It's too old to sit on the floor, Jesus. So yeah, this box, and I lost the thing, the wee tag that came with it that said exactly what it was, but it's fibre. And as far as I'm aware, it's cotton and silk, and it's the softest thing I've like ever touched. I hope. Can you see how glossy it is? It's just so soft. I am absolutely in love with it. Like, probably could even do something with it like that, but I'm gonna try spinning it, or for some weaving. But it's the most gorgeous fibre ever. Like, it's so glossy and it's so soft. I need to look for the tag. I can't believe I left that somewhere. So yeah, dear Fibershare partner, if you're watching, thank you so much. It was such a beautiful surprise again. And like, a couple of people are saying that, you know, Fibershare is a bit not useless, but you know, it's difficult because you only get 1 or 2 skeins of yarn, and then like you can't really do anything with it. But that's what I love about it. Like, I get 1 or 2 skeins of yarn, and I absolutely, like this case, I absolutely love them. And then I can just go and buy something to go with it, or even go to the website and buy more of it to make a full project. So it's just a way of like finding out about different yarns and discovering different types of yarns. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving taking part in it. It's really nice. So yeah, that's all the knit stuff I can talk to you about. If you watched my last episode, in the last episode I was still looking for a job, and funnily, I recorded a podcast, I edited it, I uploaded it, and then I got the phone call that I had the job. Was it something like that? Anyways, I have a job, I started the job, and it's like in cultural arts management field. So I really like it. I started last week, I've just finished my first week, and it's fun. Like, I feel like I can do it, people are lovely, and yeah, I'm really glad that I found a job that easily. I expected it to be way more difficult and that I'd be looking for a job forever, because I wasn't sure how Germans would react to my, you know, abroad experience, and also that I don't have like the appropriate certificates sometimes and all that. But yeah, it worked out easily, and I have a job, and I started it quite like 2 or 3 weeks after they told me about it. So I'm really happy, and yeah, it's Seems like a good job. Yeah. And now I need to find a flat. At the moment I'm commuting with train, and you know how they always say like Germans are efficient and all that stuff. Like Germans might be efficient, at least some of them, but trains are a fucking nightmare. Sorry, excuse my language. But like they're always late, there's rail replacement. So I've been on the train, commuting with the train for the past week, and like on 3 days I had issues with it. Like, how can that be? Like, people rely on that train and they just constantly cause issues. It's so annoying. So I'm trying to find a flat in Memmingen. Like it's a 40-minute train commute, which is alright. Like basically from door to door it takes me about an hour, but it's just so stressful. So I'm trying to find a flat, which also isn't easy because there's a ton of people and they all want flats, and you know, I had 2 viewings. I really hope that I'm gonna get one of those flats. We'll see. I'm always on my best behaviour and nice and chatty. You know the spiel. But yeah, I hope I'll find a flat. I really want one that has like a balcony, so I can be outside a wee bit in summer. We'll see. I'm sure I'll find something. Fingers crossed. So far everything has worked out way better than I expected it to, so hopefully once more it'll be alright. We'll see. Yeah, but like one thing that's quite peculiar about Germany is that people own their kitchens. So if you want to move into a rented flat, you either have to like buy the kitchen from the person that used to live there previously, or like if you're lucky it has a kitchen and it's like it's the landlord's and you can like rent it too, or you have to bring your own. It's a very weird thing, and obviously I don't have a kitchen, so meh. But I think the 2 flats that I looked at, they had a kitchen, and I would have to like buy it from the people that are living there at the moment. But that's doable. Yeah, so apart from that, I'm reading again. I'm currently reading the Clifton Saga. Don't know whether you know it. It's kind of Ken Follett style, you know, where like it tells the story of a family and it tells the different perspectives, and I quite like it. Me ma bought them and read them really quickly, so I was like, oh, I have to read that as well. I quite like historical fiction. So yeah, I'm reading it just now. I'm in the first book and I really enjoy it. Well, that's really good. If one of you is listening to podcasts that are also not like arts and crafts, not knitting related, I'd love to hear your suggestions. I'm currently listening to the Blind Boy podcast, which I really enjoy. He's Irish, and he used to be part of a comedy duo, or he still is, but he's very artistic basically. He wrote a book, and he's doing music, he's doing all sorts of things, he's doing telly, but he has a really good podcast which is a lot about mental health, and I think a lot of young lads listen to it, so it's very interesting. He also does live podcasts where he interviews a lot of famous or interesting people. I learned a lot about Ireland through it, just because he's Irish and he's very political. He always has a strong opinion about things. But I can really recommend it. It's really good, the Blind Boy podcast. Is anyone of you watching Outlander? Because I love Outlander. Outlander is the series that's set. It's a woman who's fallen through stones in Scotland and ended up in Scotland 200 years ago during the Jacobite Rising and all that. And it's a lovely series. I love it. It's a book, but it's now been made into a TV series. I think we're on season 4 now. Anyways, I've been thinking about hosting like an Outlander knit along, but somehow I messed it up this year and I didn't manage to organise it. But because they wear a lot of knitwear in it, but I haven't managed to this year. But yeah, I'd be really curious to know if you're watching Outlander what you think of it. I love it. I'm a big fan. It's because it's a strong female character, and she knows what she wants to do, and it's told from a female perspective. In terms of like storytelling, it's really interesting. So yeah, really enjoy that. I think that's all for now. Yeah. If you're not interested in the non-knitting part, I'm really sorry. Oopsie. If you are, yay. Yeah, so as I said before, feel free to subscribe on Instagram or here. I'm really happy if I can see where people are coming from and where people are watching me from. I find that really, really interesting. So if you're watching this podcast, maybe even comment where you're watching from. I'd love to know that, especially because, as I said before, like there's not that many people watching the English one. So I'm just really curious whether it's people in England or people like somewhere in the Netherlands or elsewhere, you know, just who are watching it because they don't speak German, and then English is for them a second language as well. So I'm just really curious about that. Anyways, enough of me. Have a lovely week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!